Hi, I'm Eric with Van Haus, and I want to show you this latest van we built. This van we built on the Sprinter 144 chassis. It was a 2023 van, so it's a couple years old, but the customer was able to find it down in Texas, an all-window cargo van, and was able to get a great deal on it, so it worked perfect for a conversion. This van has an all-electric sliding door, which is nice for getting in and out of the vehicle. We added a drop-down table here. This allows for cooking or cook prep outside. We also put a 12-volt plug and an outlet here, so you could use an induction burner here, or you could inflate a kayak or whatever you want to do. Up here we put a Fiamma F45 awning on it. Again, this is a legged manual awning. Allows you to use it in rain, snow, or sun. It's not just a shade awning. We added the Sandy Van steps on this van. We really like these Sandy Van steps. They give you a little extra step clearance to get up into the van, still maintaining a nice, tough look. And then we added our Van Haus graphics below. So this is a 30-gallon onboard, actually it's a 34-gallon onboard water tank, and this will fill your internal water tank from this fill. And then we also added a 120-volt outlet on the exterior, so you can plug in like a slow cooker or your Starlink. All right, well, let's take a look inside this van. This van is our Watson 60 model. So this van has a pull-out bed that'll make into a 75-inch queen. Has a large 50-inch galley cabinet. We do a 4.6 cubic foot refrigerator under there. We have a 2-burner induction stove. That's an 1800 watt induction burner. Very nice, heats up things really quick. It uses a magnetic cooktop to transfer that heat and heat items up nice and fast without using massive energy and without creating a lot of heat in the vehicle. We then paired that with our 15 by 17 sink. We have a sink plug that we give you that's also a cutting board. You can use that to cut and prep food. The solid surface is a non-porous surface, so it makes an excellent cutting board. It won't absorb any of that chicken juice or vegetable juice that you hate to see. In our sink, we give you a nice drying rack as well, so you can then set this up and dry all your dishes and do your dishes and dry them right here over the sink to keep everything contained. And it also has a large basket in the sink for emptying out any of the contaminants that get into there. All right, so talking about our galley cabinet, I want to show you the storage in it. We did kind of a unique setup here with one large drawer, and then we have a nice pull-out drawer above it. Maximize that space. Again, all our drawers are made out of bamboo. So heavy duty, nice and robust, dovetailed ends. We use a Southco latch. This latch is all metal interior hardware. It's a marine grade latch, very high quality. You shut it, when it's clicked shut, it is locked. On our galley cabinet, we have another 12-volt port, a USB-A, a USB-C, and another duplex outlet. This, if you're wondering, is the temperature sensor for the heat system. So this is where it's pulling our temperature and sensing what the rest of the van is sitting at, so it knows how to adjust that heat. So we always try to put your light switches near the door. So when you come in, you can get the main lights on, and also has your step light and then your porch light. And then we also put a few lights under the shelf for when you're sitting here, and those are on a dimmer switch. On this side of the van, we have another set of switches, and these switches are for the galley here, and then also the passenger and driver side rear upper cabinets. And this control panel has those light switches, but also has our main switches that we use in the van. Also features our Cymarine via switch, which then also gives you information about what's going on in your van. The Cymarine switch gives you information like your starter battery, your house battery, has your freshwater tank, your gray tank. It also has the internal fridge temperature, and then we put a temperature sensor under your bumper to get you an exterior temperature sensor. And then you can dive through those screens, and it gives you just more information about each screen you go through. Great switching system, works really well. It also has digital switches on here to turn on and off your refrigerator, turn your water pump off, your heat, your master light switch, so all the lights in the van can come on and off with one switch. Has an inclinometer, so you can tell if you're level when you're parked, so nobody's falling out of bed or you're not rolling on your partner. Makes it really convenient for that. And then you can also turn on your air conditioner and the Bluetooth speaker system. So it has all our buttons integrated, keeps everything in one tight space. Also on this control panel, we feature our Xantrex remote panel, and this will turn on, and that will allow you to use the outlets in the van. So the microwave, the induction cooktop, and any of these home style receptacles are powered from that Xantrex inverter. And that's a 3,000 watt inverter charger. So when you're plugged in at shore power, that's charging your batteries with over 100 amps of charging power. It also transfers over all the outlets and the other cooking appliances to that shore power. So you're no longer using the utilities of the van. You're now using that utility coming from the pole. In this van, we featured the Nomadic Arc Air Plus. It's the newer fan that we've been using recently. It's a very nice digital fan. Has 10 speeds in and 10 speeds out. Automatically opens and closes for use. Features a built-in shade, but still has ventilation on the side to allow you to use it with that shade closed, which is a really nice feature. In case it's dark, you're trying to sleep in, or it's light and you're trying to sleep in, you can have that fan going and get that fresh air. So this is our Watson dinette. On this side, it opens up and it allows you for it to have your toilet. And this is where you could have your toilet set up and stays right in place. On this side, we have large, deep storage. Storage is full depth all the way down to the floor, giving you maximum space for all your items. And again, on this side features our heat system, but we then open up half of it to give you the storage in there. When you're ready to retire at night, you can push the table to the side. The bed slides out, your cushion drops in, and now you have a full camper queen in here. This is a 60 by 75 inch camper queen size bed. You can then have the steps to get up into bed, and you can lounge however you want. So one other cool thing about this dinette is when you're done eating dinner or playing cards, you can then drop the table down and add a cushion, and it makes into a nice little couch. And there you go. Now you have a nice L-shaped couch to hang out and retire to for the afternoon. So we take a high pressure laminate and we take light poplar wood, and we have a 10,000 pound press that presses that laminate onto each side of that wood and gluing it on to give it a nice secure seal. We then take and we edge band with a high temperature edge banding machine that then will seal that panel and turn that into a waterproof panel. So all our cabinets are made of a light ply, so our wood's 15 to 25 pounds lighter per sheet. And then surrounded by that HPL and that edge banding, it's also waterproof. So it makes them very indestructible. In the cabinets, we then line it with a liner so that it has a nice rubbery coating so you don't have things sliding around or moving out of the way, and easy to clean. This van features quite a bit of storage. So you have uppers on both sides that give you maximum storage. We then use a zero lift hinge, so you don't have a spring. It's not something that's gonna swing up on you. They're nice and just simple zero gravity hinges to hold those panels up. So talking about the materials in this van, I spoke briefly about the HPL laminate. I also want to tell you we use a solid surface countertop in here, which is a silicone base, so it has flex in it. It's one of the best products, and it's lightweight. Works really well for moving vehicles. On the floor, we use a woven plastic floor. It's by 2Tech2, and it's their Planet. Beyond the floor, we have a storage step here, and we add storage into that. So there's another drawer that we use on a quick release. So it's a little more hidden and incognito than the other drawers in the van. We also then add a door into your garage. So if it's nasty out or yucky and you don't want to go outside and you got to get something out of the garage, you can then easily access from this door. And we had a light switch here to turn on the lights into the garage. I could crawl through it if you want.
Do it.
So let me show you, this door works really well. I now can get whatever I want out of the garage without an issue. So a few other features in this van is we do a cubby on each side of the bed, so you can have a spot for your books or your iPad or your phones. We then have a USB-C, USB-A, and another duplex outlet. We have some customers that have PAP machines, so you're able to plug that in for at night. So we put that on each side of the bed, so you both have it, nobody's fighting over who's charging. We also then have another heat vent in the bed area, so this keep you warm. If you don't want heat growing on you, you can close it, you can aim it away from you. It's fully adjustable to make sure you get exactly the temperature you want. At the back, we had reading lights. So you have a reading light on each side of the bed. Helps for at night. And then these are the switches to turn off the lights above. So this van features the Timberline heat and hot water system. It's our hydronic heat and hot water system that we put in most of our vans. It runs off of a gas burner or diesel, depending on what the vehicle's gas is. So we actually will drop your gas tank, either hook into the auxiliary fuel port or add our own fuel tap into there, and then pull the fuel out of there through a little external fuel pump, and then that heats glycol to 180 degrees and pumps it through the van and gives you heat and unlimited hot water. We use this touch screen here that gives us that access so we can turn on our heat, turn on our hot water system. And then we have a nice heat vent here in your bedroom area. We have a heat vent in your garage area. And then we also have a large heat vent down here in the galley cabinet. And so between those three, you're getting around 14,000 BTUs of heat into this van. All right, let me show you what's going on in the back of this van. We try to feature large garages in our vans. That way you can haul all your gear and everything you want to take can be in one spot. So this garage is 41 inches wide by 60 inches deep. And we feature our electronics on one side and our water and plumbing on the other side to try to keep those separated because they don't necessarily play nice together. We have a shower. This is a quick release shower. So we keep a nice wand and shower here that easily would then plug into that. And now we would have nice shower working out here. This is a hot and cold shower. There's an easy on and off, or flow control they call it, on the unit itself. And then a mixing valve up here. And when you're done, it simply quick releases out. On this side of the van, we have another 12-volt port for you to plug into. Again, inflating kayaks, inflating that boat. And then we have a dualplex outlet GFCI. This is the main GFCI that protects the van. So all the outlets run through this one GFCI to keep you ground fault protected. So this is the main unit of the van. This is the power system. So this is kind of the heart of your van. This van has two 300 amp hour lithium batteries. They're a smart battery with built-in battery management systems and Bluetooth apps, so you can watch everything going on and geek out as far as you want into the electronics of it. Up here, we have our main breaker system. This has our on and off switch to isolate the batteries. So if this van was gonna go into storage for 6 months, you wanted to take off to Europe, you could turn this to off and know that your batteries are isolated and they'll be fine for up to a few months period before you'd wanna check voltage. We also then have our main control panel. This is our SPDU-52, and this holds relays and works with that VM Cymarine switch we have up front. And then we have our standard fuse panel for all our smaller items. So along with the big garage, we try to give you more storage options by adding this L-track in. We recess L-track into the front and the rear of the garage, and then also add L-track on the sides and up top. The L-track is great. You have different D-ring mounts. They make bike mounts for this, so you could actually store a few mountain bikes in here. We put this garage at 34.5 inches up, and that allows for most bikes, up to some of these new fancy electric bikes, to fit in here with one tire off. So it's a great way to use that space. The driver's side of the van is where we feature our utility hookups. So most of the time when you pull into that campsite, that's exactly where your utility pole is on that side. We do a solar port to extend the amount of solar on the van. So if you are parked in shade or you want to just increase that solar, you can add a briefcase solar panel, plug it in right here, and that'll start charging your house batteries. Next, we have a city water connection here. So if you're in a campground that has water, you can save the 34 gallons of water that you'd bring with you in your tank and use their water right there at the source and save that roughly 300 pounds. Next, we do our smart 30 amp shore plug-in. This is a smart plug, so it's a 30 amp, no screw on, it just snaps in place and has less heat and is a great plug. Right here, we featured the Apex Flatline Vanco ladder. This is a new ladder from Flatline Vanco. And then here's our gray tank drain. This is the valve to drain your gray water tank. So like I had mentioned in the beginning, this van was an all window van that our customer had found. So we were able to remove one of the factory windows and then glue in a slider window to give them that ventilation. On the rear windows, I'm not sure if you can see, but we turned them into a bunk window. So it has an all glass look from the rear, but from the inside, it very much has a bunk window look. All right, let me show you what's going on top of this van. Up here, we were able to maximize and fit 350 watts of solar on this van. I was able to do a 180 watt panel, two 50 watt panels, and two 35 watt panels. At the back, we did a Dometic RTX 2000 battery operated air conditioner. This air conditioner runs directly off the batteries, no need to be plugged into shore power. In eco mode, it uses 20 amps of power, so it's a very efficient air conditioner. Works really good to keep this van cool in hot climates. To combo that, we added the Arctic Air Plus fan up here, the Nomadic Arc Air Plus fan. And that fan will help keep you cool if you don't need the AC, but it's a little warm out.